Welcome to Alabama Manufacturing Now, hosted by the Alabama Training Network, a podcast where we cover a wide array of challenges, solutions, and innovations for manufacturers and businesses.
We're your hosts, Whitney Barlow
and Paige Caulfield.
Alabama Training Network, powered by the Alabama Community College System, built for training, driven by workforce.
Welcome back, everybody, to Alabama Manufacturing Now. We are here with our friends from ArcelorMittal. We have Daniel and Joel. Daniel and Joel, thank you so much for being with us today. I would like to jump right in. Can you tell us a little bit about ArcelorMittal and what you do there?
Sure. Our company is ArcelorMittal Calvert. So we make steel products. So we're a steel mill. And we're located, roughly about 50 miles north of Mobile, Alabama. So, we make some special products here in Alabama. So we make products for the energy industry, for tubes and pipe industry. We make hot roll pipe, which is a special product that has high strength and can be used in cold weather in order to safely transport gas pipe products. So that's one of our big products here. We also make a lot of products for the automotive industry. So we make a lot of the steel that's consumed in exposed automotive parts, which is the doors and fenders that you would have on your cars. We also then make advanced high strength steel here. So that's the structural parts of a car. It's kind of the safety component of the car made from our steel. So we make a lot of steel that goes in everyday products that everybody uses. It could be in a refrigerator, it could be in a washer and dryer. But for the most part, we produce a lot of products for the automotive industry, and we produce a lot of products for the energy pipe industry. That's really our bread and butter here at the facility.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So what does your day-to-day look like for your job, for your position?
So for my position, I'm the CTO for the organization. When I come into work, I'm looking at our KPIs, kind of seeing how we're doing. We're a 24/7 operation, so we run around the clock. And, one of the things here at Calvert that's important to us all in all areas is safety.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important for us to make a safe product and do it in a safe manner. So that's one of the first things that we all get engaged with is the safety. How are we doing? What's happening? What actions do we need to take? That's really one of our fundamentals. Because if we're able to do safety right, everything else is going to fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make a quality product. We're going to have good productivity. So everybody's engaged in safety for us. So then, since it's a 24/7 operation, we're always, working on solving problems each day as any manufacturing facility would. So, it's pretty exciting on a day-to-day basis, just keeping the facility running. Maybe we're interacting with customers. Will call us, hey, can you help us with this issue or this problem? And so we'll interact with our customers on a daily basis, again, with the mill on the mill floor, helping the team members out as they're making our product as we're running. And then, of course, we have a lot of, contractors that would come in to help us with maintenance. So it's just really on a daily basis, there's a lot of activity. It's almost like its own city.
Yeah.
Here, the people and operations, we're bringing in materials that we need to use in our process. We're shipping out coils, shipping it out via barge or truck. So a lot of activity. It's really, kind of neat when you stand back and look at all the things that are going on 24/7. It could be on a weekend, it could be at 2 a.m, and all these things are happening.
Wow.
It actually really is like a city. Every day, everyone comes into work, and it's a little bit larger than the communities around us.
What is your employee count?
Right now we're at close to 1,800 employees.
Oh, wow.
And that's even including the contractors that support us on a day-to-day basis. So, and it's growing. We have a new electric steel facility that's under construction, and that's going to add, close to 200 jobs when that's done. And so in 27, we'll probably be around the 2,000 mark.
Wow.
Day to day so I'm the head of human resources here, and day to day is actually not that a lot different. What we do is to support what our operations do. I mean, everything that we do is to help ensure that, we're able to sell, deliver, and make our steel products. We just do it a different way. So,
Yeah.
we may be working with our community on things to ensure that we're bringing in the right kind of employees and getting people ready to come work here. Or we may help managers and employees solve problems throughout the day, do things to boost morale and drive our culture. But in the end, it's to ensure that we have the right people doing the right things.
That's
And
awesome.
that's very important because
Yeah.
when they are not, it tends to make the city not function very properly, I would imagine.
That's right. Well, I would like to point out your wonderful trophy that you have sitting between you two. And for those people that do not know, that is the Manufacturer of the Year Awards trophy. ArcelorMittal Calvert won this past 2025 year for large manufacturer. Congratulations, you guys. Talk a little bit about that and what the recognition has meant to your team.
Well, first, we would definitely like to thank Alabama Technology Network, Manufacture Alabama, and the Business Council of Alabama for providing these awards every year, and really for the work that you guys do. I think the state of Alabama has a really special manufacturing community, and that wouldn't
Yes.
happen without all the support that comes from groups such as yours, our elected officials, the workforce development groups that are out there, educators. I mean, everybody is working together to make manufacturing a priority in Alabama. So really, we appreciate that. And like I said, on that Friday when I picked up the award, I mean, for us, the real, winners of these awards are our team members who come to work every single day, day in, day out. They bring pride. They bring work ethic. They come in and they have a desire. Dan was talking earlier about safety. Safety is the single most important core value we have. All of our guiding principles, help build our culture. But our first guiding principle is safety. And, it is really key. And the employees who come in every day work safely. But in addition, they work in an innovative way. And we're always improving. I think this year POTCM just this recently broke their own record in Q3. And we've had numerous records broken this year. Our employees are really behind this award, and it's nothing that Dan or I have done.
So when you think about, so we know that you're a global company, and we know that y'all bring such a tremendous asset to the state of Alabama, and what you've already discussed about what you make for the structure and the safety. I want y'all to tell me of a project or an improvement or an initiative that y'all have done, maybe you're going to do in 2026 or you did in 2025, that really is something to be proud about for your, I keep wanting to call y'all now a community, your community to be proud about. And y'all have, so it even sounds like a town name. But what y'all are, something that you're really looking forward to, have your moment to brag.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple things, but the one thing, and Joel had mentioned it before, so, we had now announced this, a few months back, but we're just starting construction on a new electrical steel facility. So this facility is going to expand our capability both from a tonnage standpoint, but also a new product that we're going to be offering in North America. So we always have new names for things. And so this is non-orientated electrical steels is what this product is called.
Okay.
So ArcelorMittal is building 3 of these facilities, one in China, one in France, and one right here in Alabama.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty cool. And
That is cool.
What's also really impressive is that it's over a $1 billion investment that we're building. Adding on to our existing facility. So that to me is a real commitment, for us here at Calvert that, ArcelorMittal Global is investing here. So our future is strong. Our future is bright, with this expansion. But the electrical steel, so we're going to make this new kind of brand of electrical steels. Electrical steels have been around the steel industry for a long time. They go into motors and transformers, use electrical steel. It's a special steel grade. It has low resistance, so if you put it in a motor, it's very efficient. The
Okay.
new grades that we're going to be making are really for the next generation of electrical vehicles that are going to
Okay.
be coming out. So they're made to have a very low resistance so that you get, more and more life from your battery. You can go further without
Oh,
charge. So this is going to be a new product that we'll be offering here in North America. Our startup for that facility is in 2027.
okay.
So a very aggressive plan for us to get building. And like Joel had said before, so we're looking at an additional 200 employees. And during the construction phase, I think we'll be employing around 1,300 people while we build the facility.
Wow.
So we're learning a lot about electrical steel right now. So that's a lot of our activity is we're getting the final specifications for the equipment that we're going to be installing. And then we also have to learn how to make this product. It's a high silicon grade in order to get the resistance and the steel that we need. It's also very light gauge. So we're looking forward to having this new product offering that we can offer our customers. But that's kind of our biggest news right now is, that facility. And then we're also, this year, which will carry into next year, is we are starting up our electrical arc furnace. So we're now able to make our own slabs here at
Wow.
ArcelorMittal. So we had been getting slabs from other suppliers in the U.S. We also bring slabs in from Mexico and Brazil, and then we roll them through our hot mill. But now we're going to have our own source of slabs. So we've already started this year to start to melt. So we're making steel, true steel right here in Alabama, made and melted in the USA, but made and melted in Alabama with our electrical arc furnace. So that's really exciting because it's only been running
Yeah.
for a couple of months. So that's just another step in our progression of growing the facility. And maybe down the road, we'll even expand that further. So we're really excited about that, bringing that on.
See, that's so exciting
Yeah.
because I think, you know, y'all know how consumers are. You know, if it's in front of us, we're just not gonna. We just don't understand what and how and where things move in the supply chain and how much has gone outside of the country, and because it's just easy. You know,
Yeah.
it's like if I can click a button and order on Amazon and it's on my front door that afternoon or
As
the
long
next
as
morning,
I can go
right?
to the store and get my toilet paper, it doesn't matter where it came from.
And so, and it also isn't a big deal about quality and pride, and we just lost a lot of that. So to hear this and let me make sure I understand the addition, the expansion that you're doing in North of Mobile is $1 billion with the B.
Yes. With the
Not
electrical
all three of them, like, so you just alone, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And 1,300 people, like the impact you have in the communities there and the people you're employing and the quality of life that you're bringing, that's tremendous. And that y'all are so concerned with safety, because that's also, that's huge. This is great.
And the workforce.
And the workforce.
The workforce development. And so talk a little bit about your workforce and how you approach training and developing your employees, especially when you have that growth of 1,300 employees.
Sure. So I'll start with, probably all of our existing employees and that approach, and then kind of move into the approach of bringing people into the organization from the outside, which, we typically call workforce development. So, we offer, very advanced safety and technical trainings for our employees here. We bring in experts from, even our own global R&D company of ArcelorMittal, as well as outside experts, in order to ensure they have, the most advanced training on this equipment.
Yeah.
Because as you can tell from the earlier conversation, this equipment is very high-tech. We also employ, a really cutting-edge artificial intelligence, even virtual reality. For instance, we have crane training that, uses virtual reality to let people practice driving the crane before they ever even get in one. So, those are the things we try to do to ensure that as well as, leadership training for our frontline supervisors. And of course, we talked about safety, but there's a lot of safety training as well. So, those are the things to advance people here. We also bring people, through workforce development. We have partnerships with Coastal Community College, Bishop State College, and University of South Alabama. From a technical standpoint, they bring in various kinds of apprentices, which is a key component for us of bringing in both operators and maintenance people that are able to go to school and work at the same time. And, they're getting their credits, they're getting on-the-job experience, so that when they graduate, they're able to secure a job. And many of them stay and work for us. So, we also partner with Bishop on so the apprenticeship for operators is called Fame on the Coast. We're a founding member of that member company. And actually, one of our people in HR is the president of the board.
Oh, wow.
And for Fame. We also have an impact program with Bishop that brings in high school students, and so they're able to get college credit while working here.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then that gears them hopefully towards those 2-year technical programs. They're free to go off and do something else if they want, but that's where we're trying to gear them towards. Our program with Coastal is around electrical and instrumentation and HVAC and, mechanic. And so we bring in a lot of that particular program we started in 2020. And that was actually probably the first of its kind, at least in Region 7 of Alabama, when they created that new apprenticeship. I don't remember the name of it, but it was back in 2020 when they created that.
There was a lot going on that year.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a little.
And it's actually won the Governor's Seal of Excellence.
Oh, wow.
The Region 7. And we share that with other companies, that are interested in doing something similar because, we want to be able to hire people from other programs as well.
That's amazing. That's got a great, so understanding, so Fame, for those that might be on the podcast that do not know what Fame is, you want to explain a little bit of, because it's a great program throughout the state in various pockets.
Yeah, sure. So for ours, we use Bishop State College in Mobile, which has probably one of the best state-of-the-art labs that I've seen anywhere. And students come in there and they go to school and they work for us, generally up to 32 hours a week while they're going to school. And then they're getting both college credit experience with us, and we put them into the actual roles in which they will do someday, but we don't put them alone. We partner them up with someone who's mentoring them, showing them over the 2-year course. I think it's 18 months actually for that program, but over the course of that time, they progressively get more independent. And then when they graduate with their college credit, they have some additional hours to fulfill, and then they're full-fledged, certified, and then usually join us in a regular position. Because right now, it's a very stiff competition as well. I mean, we're doing that because it does help, get people ready for the workforce, and it's good company stewardship, right? Partnering, but it's Mobile's a very, very competitive.
Yeah.
And there are a lot going on, new companies coming in, everybody's looking for good quality mechanics, electricians. So we have to do that in order to supply a steady stream of up and coming new recruits to go along with our experienced hires.
Well, I applaud y'all also on using high school students and giving them some exposure through certain ways. That's you get that a lot with companies when they're complaining is a bad word. When they're expressing their grievances on the fact that the pipeline or they're, I can't get them to understand what we do. And you're like, well, if you wait until junior college, technical college, community college, or college or universities itself, you've waited too long. They've already figured out what they're going to do. They're already kind of headed on a path. So because I'm sure that was not an easy lift with what y'all do to get high school in there.
Sure. And that's a new and smaller program. But to your point, It's absolutely vital to start energizing people around understanding what manufacturing is and does, and what kind of careers they can have there well before high school. I think we're involved in over 30 STEM related sponsorships every year. We do grant applications and various things to ensure, like this year, for I think the second year in a row, we sponsored the girls learning about
Yeah.
manufacturing glam.
Oh, glam.
Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean, just so that people can, well before high school,
Yes.
start to know who we are and be able to say our name and
Yeah.
think about coming here.
Well, if it
Yeah.
makes you feel any better, just so the whole entire audience knows, I've never stepped foot where you are, and I have not ever seen a tour of the company. And I am located in Central Alabama. While I do some work with at ATN in the Mobile area, but because of your investment, when y'all won, my joke was, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm so used to saying their other name because your name just rolled off, because everywhere you turned, y'all were such a strong partner in all of our different partners that we work with. So like, it is working. Like, you have branded yourself with me. Now I'm going to have to rebrand it with the name, even though I can spell it. So
Oh, and I appreciate you bringing that up, and I should probably point that out for people who may say, "Who's ArcelorMittal Calvert?" So for the last 10 years, since 2014, we've been AM&S Calvert, which was a joint venture between ArcelorMittal and Nippon Steel. And that partnership, we've become wholly ArcelorMittal, and so that involves a name change, but we're doing the same programs and have the same employees. And while we honor that relationship we had because it was very, very good for us and very important, we're also looking forward to the future as ArcelorMittal Calvert.
we're excited about that too.
Yeah.
So when you think about, so correct me if I'm wrong, do we have some guys working with y'all? Or have had worked with y'all?
Absolutely. We use Alabama Technology Network right now. They conduct a lot of our orientation safety training to help
Okay.
ensure that we instill the proper orientation of safety in all of our employees, as well as partner with us on numerous expertise training for both safety and I'm not sure which maintenance programs, but I think some maintenance programs as well. So we have a very strong and long relationship with you guys.
So let's go back to I got to go back to the new steel y'all are about to do. Like, this is intriguing to me. So if I was to walk up on it, would I be able to tell the difference?
It would look like steel. So it's really the properties, the internal properties of the
Okay.
steel that make it different. Otherwise, it would look like, every once in a while, if you're driving down the road, you see a coil on the back of a truck that might go by. It's going to look very similar to that. It's just that its properties on the inside, if you looked at it under a microscope, is where you would see the difference.
And it's going to be used, so where you currently are being used, a lot of your steel is being used in structure of like the outside of the car or the structural elements of the car. This is going into, if someone drives an electric car, whichever brand that might be, it's going to go more around the battery and those kind of pieces that help it
It's
run.
going to go into the motors that are in those vehicles. It'll also go into transformers, other motors in different industries. So it'll be used in those electrical parts in the motors. But on an automotive, it'll be part of those motors in there in the battery vehicles.
Okay.
So it'll look like steel. Will it weigh the same? Or
Well,
is
the one difference is the product for us is going to be a very, very thin gauge.
Okay.
So it's going to be very, very, very thin. And what they wind up doing with the motors is they stack them on top of each other. So they stack steel up. So, it may be this thick, but it'll have 100 pieces in there.
okay.
That's kind of how they build the motors up. But the requirement for it is going to be a very, very thin gauge. And unfortunately, I'm so used to talking in metric. So it's going to be around, 0.2 millimeter in gauge, which for us is really, it's like paper. It's like a piece of paper.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Go bounce
Oh,
that.
wow. That is amazing. Like, I bet that is interesting to try to learn how
Yeah.
to do. Because when you think of steel, you do not think of it
As
being
paper.
the thickness of paper. So that's
And uniqueness is the challenge for us, and that's why it's a $1 billion facility. Is we have to have special units to process it because the steel has some silicon in it. It's very brittle in its processing, so you have to have kind of special processes to manipulate it to get it into its final form. So that's the challenge for us, and we're looking forward to it. It's another what I really like about what we have here at Calvert is you kind of mentioned like the Amazon, where we're kind of the steel version of Amazon in that we offer almost every product that you can buy for steel, we make here at one facility. And which I'm really happy about this investment because this keeps us on the cutting edge with the latest where the future is going. So, we still keep investing in the facility. And as we had talked about, very important discussion is, we need to have the people with the skill set to work here on these new units, because it's not just about, someone that can just push buttons. You really need to understand the process and be able to troubleshoot, and you've got to have that kind of mindset and skill set to troubleshoot equipment or to operate. And what's really exciting for me is that these are good jobs. These are good manufacturing jobs in Alabama. They're good pay, they're good benefits, and you don't have to have the college education. Yes, we need to have a high skill set, but there are opportunities for people coming out of high school that you don't have to go to get a 4-year degree necessarily to find a good manufacturing job.
Yeah.
You have these electrical, mechanical apprenticeships, which give you kind of a different opportunity to have a career and make a very good living. And, that's something that, I'm very proud about. And plus, it's nice to be able to make something here in America. We're actually making a product, something that's being used, something sustainable. That to me is exciting.
Yeah,
I think,
go ahead.
I
No.
just say, and another thing that's exciting for us is just the amount of support, our county commissioners and leadership, the Chamber of Commerce for Mobile, the communities that surround us, Mount Vernon and Calvert, that's allowed us to grow, and partners with us on these things. We have a lot of gratitude for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pride when you have made something and you have watched it and then you see it on the finished product.
Yeah.
My dad I grew up, and that was how I went through Auburn, and all of that was my dad was in the steel industry, and I did a science project on how all the different products that go in and how really the impact it is on sustainability and how people really don't understand what all's involved in making. And it was a really cool, and it was a long time ago. Not that I'm aged, but it was a little while ago. But it was amazing. And I'm sitting here listening to you tell the story, and I'm thinking about how you're investing in high schoolers and that you've got apprenticeship programs, and you're giving these people the opportunity to have a life that Alabama citizens to have a life that they might not even have had, because the thing is we all know that there is debt to be incurred in your early 20s and different pathways in life, and to be able to have a really good job of something that is always going to be in demand, and because that's how everything, probably most stuff in this room, if we really started breaking it down of the podcast room, it's coming from some part of that. And for them to have that kind of pride, made in the USA, built in the USA, not having debt, being able to build a family, and all those things, that's just a lot to be proud of with y'all. And that it just makes me really excited to be interviewing y'all today.
Yeah.
Or talking to you.
Yeah, we feel the same. Like as Dan mentioned, I mean, these are high-paying, good jobs, good benefits. We do ask, we in return, we good quality workmanship. Come to work, be safe. So it's a two-way street, and we're proud of that relationship we have with our employees.
You talked a little bit earlier about your partners in the community, and ArcelorMittal has always been a really big partner in the community that you are in. Can you tell us the different ways that ArcelorMittal is giving back?
Yeah, so we have a program called Calvert Cares, That's one way that allows our employees to, sponsor or request sponsorships for smaller um, community things of their choosing, right?
Okay.
There may not be the big ticket ones that we do. When I talk about the big ticket ones we do, an example of that is we're partnering with United Way to build playgrounds in communities and
Oh,
schools that don't have
wow.
Oh,
playgrounds. And
that's fantastic.
and we've helped build 2 so far, and we looking forward to continuing that program. We give, I mentioned the STEM partnerships. We give grants every year to various schools and different groups for STEM related projects. I think one this past year or the year before, don't hold me to it, but it was, for example, the Mobile Baykeeper Next Gen program that
Yeah.
helps, build environment to sustainability. So, we do partner with the community in every way we can.
That's awesome.
We feel like it's our responsibility, as you know, a large manufacturer in the
Yeah.
area
Yeah.
to give
Absolutely.
back as well.
Yeah.
Well, not all manufacturers feel that way. So it's a great thing. So, okay, so a little bit more about Calvert Cares. So are you telling me that you've got little league teams with Calvert on there, like this, the kind of things, or you do like,
Well,
do they have to fill out an application?
not
How's that?
necessarily quite like that. Because one of the things about our facility is we're in a rural area, and all of our employees probably come from up to 60, 70 miles away, and there's hundreds of schools and little leagues, and so there's a kind of a within 70 miles of us in all directions. So there's some prioritization. It's more about, I think, empowering companies to support nonprofits that resonate with them, and those kind of sponsorships is really primarily where that is.
Well, I mean, it would be pretty cool that every little town within 100 miles of y'all had a Calvert little baseball team. That'd be amazing. I do love the playground.
Yeah.
Put that on a thought process.
The playground though is a great thing.
Yeah,
Like
that
that's something that always gives back. If you grew up in a community that had a playground, which I did, and the community I live in now has a great playground or has a couple playgrounds for our kids to grow to. But when you grow up and that's not something that's accessible to you, and that's just it's like y'all not making steel in America. It's just un-American. A child should be able to have a playground in their community to go and have a birthday party at and do that. So like the more I learn about y'all, the more I'm like, if I change careers, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I don't know what I could do.
Come on over.
And we don't just give money for that playground. We, our employees, we pay them, they volunteer and they go off and they help build it.
Yes, that's awesome.
I think we've had between the 2 playgrounds and some of the Calvert Cares things that we've funded, I think we've had over 100 of our employees go off and volunteer and help in the community some way or another.
That's great because that helps them have pride. So on your existing processes and the existing things that you do, are y'all, so it's coming in and you have to, I knew I grew up in it, but I'm going to destroy the process. So the electric part really was intriguing. So the current process of what you do, it comes in and it's in its raw form and it goes through the process. So are y'all all is it like all encapsulated? Is that the word I'm looking for? I mean,
Well, the process, we'll take, for the most part, we take a slab. So if you've ever seen a slab, it might be 10 inches thick and it might be, 20 feet long.
Okay.
So we do this big slab and then we put it through our hot roll or our hot mill. So the hot mill will roll it down in gauge. So it'll actually turn it from a slab into a coil.
Okay.
Okay. That's kind of our first process after we've made a slab. So as I mentioned before, we have a new electrical furnace. So now we can make our own slabs, but we also buy a lot of slabs also.
Okay.
The hot mill is kind of the first step in our process. So we'll make this what we call a hot band coil. So it's a little bit thicker gauge. It might be up to 19 millimeters. So it's not paper thin. So we'll put it that way. So
Okay.
that's kind of our first step. And some of our customers like that product, and we'll sell that to them. Like the pipe and tube industry really likes that product. So we'll send it to them. But some products want thinner gauge, or maybe they want galvanized for corrosion resistance on top of the steel. So then we'll take that hot band coil. It'll go to another process.
Okay.
And that process is called cold rolling. So we'll actually now take that hot band coil and we'll roll it down even more to a thinner gauge. Okay. And we also pickle the scale off of it. So we make it really shiny and kind of clean at that point. So now we have what we call a cold rolled coil. We have some customers that'll buy those coils, but for the most part, it'll go down to kind of our last step in our process, which would be a galvanizing line. And we have 4 of them here that depending on the product, will go to a certain line. So like if we're going to make a automotive exposed panel, a door or a fender, let's say for Honda or for Ford, it would go to number 1 galvanizing line, and then we would heat it up, and then we would dip it in a big zinc bath, and the zinc would adhere to it, and then we'd wrap it up, and then we'd have a galvanized coil that's ready for use.
And then that goes to the
then that'll go to the customer.
Okay.
So that'll get shipped out. You know, it could be shipped out via rail, it could be shipped out by truck, or even barge. So we'll send some material out in barge also. But that's kind of the finished product at that point. We'll package it up, we'll seal it up, we'll put a good package on it to help protect the steel. But the facility is kind of based in units. So it'll process through these different units, and we'll manipulate the steel to get it into the final form that the customers want.
They even have their own multimodal facility.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Yeah.
Do y'all,
Y'all are your own little community.
You are.
Yeah.
Do you have a mayor? I thought that would get...
I mean, we do have our own fire department. We have our own,
See? Yeah. That's important.
Probably each unit, because I do LMD, and you learn like how the whole system works depending on the company. So I guarantee you each unit has a mayor, whether they're elected or
maybe
just like
unofficial.
the unofficial mayor of the company. So what do you think in 2026, the end of 2026, where do you think, so we know in 2027 the goal is to have launched the new building with $1 billion facility with a B. So let's just shorten it back to 2026 and tell me where you would like to see. I mean, you can cover all the gamuts. You can cover community, or you can cover one. You can cover workforce. You can cover production at the company itself. If you got to December and we called you up and said, hey, tell us, did you complete your goal? What would those goals be?
So I'll start it. The first one would be we'd be injury free. We would have made safe steel with no injuries, and we would be extremely happy and celebrating right there. That's really the most important thing for us, is to accomplish that goal. I mean, I can't say it enough, but that is really just a real important focus, a real core for us, is to make sure that when someone comes to work, they leave safe the next day. That's just, it takes everybody. It's a commitment from our employees. It's a commitment from myself. It's a commitment from Joel. It's everybody working together to make it a safe place. I don't want to make it sound like, steel isn't safe, but, there's big equipment, big coils, a lot of activity going on. So, we do want to make sure and stress that. So that would be the first thing. That would be a lot of high fives, a lot of, being happy to come through with no injuries, no incidents for the facility would be number one. We would be really excited about that. For 2026, we're looking like, our facility is going to be full. We're going to be producing, a lot of steel. So, we're going to be working really hard with our team members to be able to deliver all the steel on time with the quality that they want to have. So that's we're going to be looking at the production coming through the units, the quality that we're making. An award like this that we received really kind of gets you motivated. The goal for that award, because, just kind of mention is that, a lot of times when you're in manufacturing, you have a tendency sometimes to focus on, where your weaknesses are. Oh, we got to work on this. We got to. Sometimes you don't take the moment to kind of reflect on your successes, where you've had success, and this to me is a measure of that when we won this award. Because when I kind of look at it, it's like I don't think we'll win. There's an awful lot of good manufacturing companies in Alabama, and I tell everyone to go take a look at the past winners. Just go through and scroll through and see the companies there. They're world-class companies, and Alabama has really grown. I know people are really familiar with a lot of the companies around Huntsville with the aerospace, but right here in Mobile, there's such really good companies that have now. ArcelorMittal, of course, is leading.
Of course.
There's others, SSAB, Austal, Airbus, Novelis is building a new big aluminum facility in Baldwin County. So there's a lot of really good manufacturing companies that Alabama has welcomed and encouraged them to start facilities here. So for me, this really is the time to kind of reflect and say, wow, we have been doing some good things, and it really is a moment of pride for us to win an award like this. And also, when we win like a customer award, that's one that's also really important for us, getting a customer award, because that means they really like our steel.
Yes, exactly.
So it really is. And like Joel had said, for me, I don't make any of the steel. I don't maintain any of the equipment. It's our team members that do that. And really, this a moment to kind of reflect on this award is really for them, their hard work that they've been doing. It's just neat to, like I said before, is to make something and then to be rewarded, and recognized that maybe you're good at it, that you've accomplished, some goals at doing that. So it's neat to win something like this, and we want to build on that in 2026, and have a good, safe year, and then be able to meet, our KPIs. I want to be able to pay out big bonuses to our employees.
Amen. Yes.
Right.
So, that's the goal here, is we want, everyone to be safe and everyone to kind of share, in the success of the company.
Another motivating factor of going to work with them.
That's great. Bonuses.
All right. Final thing. So you can pick between one of two. You can either give me the best advice that you would give a manufacturer, either existing in the state of Alabama or coming into the state of Alabama, or you can tell me what it means to you to be a manufacturer in Alabama. And I want both of you to answer. Even though I know y'all come from different backgrounds when it comes to manufacturing, but I think you would both bring a different perspective to either answer.
Sure. I mean, I'll give you an answer on, what I think it means to be a manufacturer in Alabama. Because, I really, and I alluded to it earlier, I really believe both Alabama itself creating this environment and the manufacturers in Alabama, are really, really special. I mean, that made in Alabama distinction, obviously that's awesome, but you're not just building products. I mean, you really are building careers, you're building communities. And I think that, with everything Dan said about, these being high paying jobs, and, it's so much more than just making something. It's making a robust, livelihood, indirect jobs that come out of it, the ability for people to provide for their families. I mean, to me, the things that we're doing in this state, and allowing to have happen in this state and supporting to happen in this state in manufacturing, are just really making a huge difference. And it just makes me excited to be an Alabamian.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
okay, your turn, Daniel.
So Joel did a very good job, of answering it. So I'll just try to build maybe a different perspective on it. So, I've got 36 years in the steel industry, and I've worked at, different locations in the country. I've worked up north at the steel mills, kind of in the Rust Belt, if you will, and then had the opportunity to come down here in Alabama. And the one thing that I would encourage everybody is you got to give Alabama a shot. You got to give them a chance, because the workforce here in Alabama, I've been on a lot of different teams in a lot of different areas. The best team that I've been on is here in Alabama.
Oh, man.
So before my CTO role here, I worked in the galvanized department, actually, here at Calvert in operations. And that team was the best team, and very proud of that team. And the one thing I think unique with a lot of our employees that born here in Alabama is their work ethic. Okay, just a fantastic work ethic, and you see it day in and day out. They just have the self-motivating pride to want to do a good job. And then the other thing too is what I really like and is that any challenge that comes up, we always try to find unique ways to try to solve our problems. And that's what I've really seen is our team members are really motivated to figure this out, to come up with a better solution. There is no quit in anybody from Alabama, and we're gonna solve the problem. We're gonna make it better, and then that's what I really appreciate, and that's what I tell everybody. You gotta really look at Alabama. One, they want manufacturing in Alabama, and the workforce is very motivated.
I love that. There's no quit in Alabama.
Yeah.
I love that. Gosh, y'all, this has been fantastic. I have thoroughly enjoyed talking to y'all. I'm sure Paige has too. I'm now considering a career change and I guess a physical move.
Long down.
Because I do not live near y'all. But it's just a tremendous opportunity, and we are so excited. And I didn't look at your application, but after hearing all of this, there is no doubt in my mind that you were the large manufacturer of the year. What you do is you are a whole company, and it is a privilege to have y'all located in Alabama. Thank y'all so much. Do you have contact information, how they can get contacted to maybe come to work there or learn about your apprenticeship programs, all the different facets of ways that people can get connected to you? If y'all want to give it, and then we'll call it a day.
So specifically for job seekers, ArcelorMittal Calvert Jobs.com is the official website, but as well, all of those jobs are aggregated over into Indeed and Google, and so you can pretty much search anywhere and you'll be able to pull up the jobs as long as you know our name.
And spell it.
And and then we maintain some of our positions on LinkedIn and other social media as well. So there's opportunities there. Typically with the apprenticeships, we work directly with the schools. So if they get in contact with Coastal Alabama or Bishop or University of South Alabama, we'll be happy to talk to anyone.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Great.
Guys, thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having y'all with us today.
Thank y'all.
Y'all have a good one.